Welcome to Egg Shorts. I'm Calen. He's Brandon. He's going to answer this question in the next 5 minutes. Your thoughts on people's horse breed preferences?
Well, it depends on who you're talking to, what they're using the horse for, and how they got there, I guess. You know, if you get show people, some of them like warm bloods, dressage, I mean, whatever discipline you want to get into. Um, Sometimes people get an idea, particularly young ladies growing up, and they see a particular horse and they go, I have got to have one of those like that when I get big.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some people are born into it. Why do we prefer a certain make of an automobile? Well, it's because what we've always had and we've liked it. So yeah, there's a lot of different reasons why, and some people will have different breeds of horses at the same time for different
Mm-hmm.
uses.
Right.
And again, like I say, sometimes your dressage folks, you're talking some of those big warm bloods that they like to use for dressage. You're not going to use that same horse generally. Not that you can't, but generally you're not going to use that same horse to go team roping on.
Right.
Or I mean, different builds, different horses, different task.
Well,
I've
for
made that.
example, I went to college with a guy that his family earned a Percheron, and everything else was a quarter horse, just because that's what they were used to. But they used the Percheron for hunting. He carried the meat.
Sure, if you can boost them up there,
Yeah.
that's a good use of them. Oh yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
one horse like that, the pack saddle you kind of get, you could devise a longer, bigger pack saddle for one too, and
Mm-hmm.
do it pretty easily actually, and put that on there. Heck, you could easily put an entire elk on a
Right.
percher, and yeah, no
Yeah.
big deal, no problem.
Now, the one thing is, it seems like the gated horse world just has such a horrible reputation. And
Mhm.
anytime I tell somebody like, "Yeah, we have gated horses, we have Tennessee Walkers," they're like, "Oh, gated horses." Like, where do you think that is?
Well, I don't know what they're you know rolling their eyes about. Is it because there's a particularly the Tennessee Walkers are bad actors on the show ring for
Right.
soaring and
Mhm.
abusing these animals. USDA, you know, regulations when the government steps in to fix a problem. I mean, that's always a bad thing.
Yeah,
But
because it takes a
sometimes
while for the
it's
government to react.
but even still, then it's sometimes it's like they go overboard.
Mm,
But there's always then somebody trying to cheat their way and figure out a way to get around it. So, but I have found that so many people that roll their eyes about them, especially up in big country where you want to cover some country, everybody appreciates a horse that'll really move out, really walk.
mhm.
But if it's a horse that's bred to do that, then it's no good. But I have discovered, I believe, and hadn't said this for years, most of these people don't know how to make a gaited horse walk properly.
Right. And that's kind of what I've come to the conclusion with
Yeah.
as well.
And
They
and
haven't been taught how to get them to where they need to be.
they
Yeah.
don't know how, and they, God forbid, you can't tell me how to do something because I already know it all. I mean,
Yeah, I can see that.
there's a lot of ego in the horse world.
That's true.
And so I think that people, particularly when they don't know something, don't want to admit they don't know something, particularly men. Men are worse about it, I think, than women are. That's why a
Yeah.
lot of clinics, when you look at most clinics,
1 minute.
are filled with women, by and large, to a high degree more than men, because they don't have the ego about already know it all, and there's a lot to making a horse gait naturally, and it's all about repetition. It's about teaching them how to do it. That's what we've done, and not like you see in a show ring, doing it with a loose rein, a light rein, and you can neck rein them, you can leg cue them, and so often our horses, people see them, they don't even realize they're gaited horses till they see them move, and they go, "Wow, that horse really moves different." Or they try and keep up with you, and they got to go into a trot to keep up with us. So, and we're handling that horse the same way they are.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I'd say education. And then, like you just said, the physical characteristics. People have told them sometimes ours look like quarter horses. And like, oh, really? I'm like, yep. And suddenly they're like, oh, I might be interested.
yeah,
That's that's horse breeds and preferences.